This is what many of the rail lines closed during the Beeching era now look like, overgrown and forgotten about. But that's not the case everywhere. This disused line, which runs through Warwickshire and Gloucestershire, has 3 new uses. First, because it's so flat, it makes an ideal cycle track.
It's level.
It's level.
Yeah,
level.
it's fairly straight.
At our age, we like level.
I think my wife really enjoyed that as well. She used to do a lot.
And after a hard slog in the saddle, what better than a quick break at a cafe in a railway carriage?
It's an oasis in the middle of nowhere. People generally come along here. They get as far as the car park and then they'll start smelling the bacon. And out of curiosity, they'll walk across the road and they'll genuinely just see a carriage in the middle of nowhere.
The cafe is located on what used to be the site of Millcote Station. This is what it looked like when the train still ran.
We used to have all sorts of trains come down here. The Cornishman come down.
Paddy Hopkins used to live here. Her late husband was the signalman at the station.
Living on the station was absolutely fabulous. There was lots of people catching the trains and everything up here. And you've got to realise there was lots of cottages around here with people in that used to walk down to catch the train.
Further down the old line, there's a different activity. You might think that the trains stored in these sidings at Long Marston are about to die. But inside a nearby workshop, they're actually being recycled.
Whilst some of these trains a few years ago would have been considered to have been life expired, with the way that the railways are thriving now, actually what we're doing is putting this stock back into use.
To find the final use of the old line, you've got to cross the border into Gloucestershire. Here you'll find the region's 2nd biggest heritage railway.
Things of the bygone age do still attract a lot of people, not necessarily older people either, but some of the younger people who come along are absolutely fascinated by what they see. What noise does the train make?
Here, passenger services were lost as a direct result of the Beeching cuts, and stations have been lovingly restored. Some of the volunteers that work on the railway lost their jobs when the Beeching Axe fell.
Suddenly, we all firemen like myself were out of a job. And it was just the end of an era, so to be able to come and reenact it all these years later is just marvellous.
It all goes to show that there is life after Beeching, and although most lines that close will probably never reopen, there are always alternative ways of putting them to good use. Peter Plisner, BBC Midlands Today.